So I'm Andy from Zenico Racing. We are with Sam from Redgraphix.
Yep, Redgraphix.
Redgraphix. Right, so we're going to talk about the importance of liveries on your karts. When we talk about sponsorship opportunities, of getting your sponsors on your kart, we talk briefly about that, how Redgraphix works with you as a customer, and also the importance of not being scammed. For you parents out there, you've probably seen on Facebook certain graphics companies, I'm not going to name a particular one, who advertises graphics. We've been scammed by them, hundreds of other people have been scammed by them. You don't get your graphics, and if you do get them, they're really rubbish quality. Don't get me wrong, there's some great companies out there on Facebook, but we always recommend someone like Redgraphix. We use you. You do our kart liveries. They are the best. There's two companies, there's Jake Designs out there as well. I'm not going to be, just Redgraphix. Really popular brands. So, Sam, thank you very much for getting the time out to talk to us today. Right, let's talk about kart graphics. Now, parents say to us, I want sponsorship. How do I get sponsorship? How do I advertise? All this sort of stuff. And what first thing I say to them is, sponsorship in karting is weird because you don't have the ability to paste someone's company logo over a race car. You're limited on a car, aren't you? So it's quite difficult. So when you're talking to a customer and they're engaging with you and they're looking at design briefs, what sort of things do you advise customers think about when they're thinking, I want my own personalised graphics on the car?
The main thing we try and get off them is an indicator of what they're trying to look for, whether this be a reference of other sticker kits that they like, not to copy, but to give us an idea what colours they like, what kind of scheme they want. Normally more than one, normally two or three, just so you get a real idea of what that customer has in their head, and what they're picturing in their head, and trying to translate that into a design and a proof that they can look at, get behind and say, yes, that's what I want my car to look like.
You see, now we call that don't write the rule book. There's no point in rewriting it. We build websites for a living, and with a new client, we will say, have a look what's out there. See what you like. Pick certain aspects of it. It's like a shopping trip, isn't it? You're going shopping, you're putting the bits you like in your trolley.
Yeah.
And then that would help on a design brief, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think it is really up to the customer. But the important thing is, if you're doing this for the first time, or you've not really had that much experience with stickers, having an idea of what other people have got on theirs gives you a direction of where you want to go. If you went to a shop and they didn't have things correctly stacked, like all the toothpaste in one area, you're not going to know where to find them. You're not going to know what you want. You're not going to know where to go with the design. So having those ideas of what you like and don't like before you go into the process really allows it to be streamlined and make you feel like you're not overwhelmed by it, and give you a direction through the whole process.
Okay, so that's interesting. So, we use you. You print our stickers for us. You've probably seen the Zenico branding on our karts that we run. Your service is great. It's fast time. I'm always on the phone to Danielle. I need this. I'm late. I should have asked you beforehand. When we put our design through to you, we had an idea what we wanted. We done very similar. We saw a design we liked.
Yep.
We said we like this. We sent you photographs. And the process we experienced was, proofs coming back, and that those exchange of emails. So, what's the importance of that when you're talking about proofs? What is a proof? People might not even know.
A proof is essentially a copy of your design as it comes on a flat sheet, basically. So it's not as it looks on the bodywork, whether it be the pods, the nacelle panel. It kind of comes on like almost like, if you can imagine, an A4 sheet that you'd open on your phone's PDF, and it just essentially shows what the stickers will look like when they're in the packets, and you then visualise what that would look like on the car. And the importance of the proof is that we don't take an interpretation of your idea. We don't think, oh, they're asking for this, and just do it and print it, and then the customer receives the stickers and it's not what they're after. And then you've got an unhappy customer, you've got work that's been done for that costs money, but it's not good for everyone. So that proof is the opportunity for the customer to really go through and find detail, and the finer detail they go into, the better, being really precise, because this is going to be something that's going to go on your cart. And if you have a habit of running into other karts on track, which does happen, you're going to go through many sticker kits, and you want that design to be absolutely perfect. So going through all the minor details really does benefit you later down the line. In that initial proof, and that final one that you go forward with allows you to make sure it is exactly as you want, because at the end of the day you're the customer and it's your design, and it needs to be perfect for you. Because if it's not, it's not your design.
So when I'm thinking about designing a livery kit, what should I be considering myself as a customer, especially when you talk about sponsors? So where's the best place to put branding onto a cart?
My personal favourite is the one we've got on our Redgraphix cart that's raced in the bespoke series. The sponsors, when you look on that, they're not dominating. They're not completely dictating the rest of the design. They're slipped in gently with the opportunity to get multiple sponsors on there. Because the thing with karting is very rarely you're going to get one sponsor that supports you for everything. You're going to have to look for a few different companies. A few different companies that are going to be a little bit here, might support you with tyres, might support you with hotels, or even fuel for getting to and from the races. So not having one big sponsor to rely on for everything gives you the opportunity to put more on there, and it also gives you freedom when you're racing, because if whatever happens with that sponsor, if they decide they don't want to do it anymore and that was who you were dependent on, you've then got a large budget hole to fill. Whereas if you rely on a few smaller sponsors, if one pulls out, you've still got 2 or 3 that are still there looking to support.
Now, that's an interesting you say that, because we've had to change some parts of our liveries we've been going through, and what I've found with Redgraphix is a typical example. When we print our graphics through you, we put our race number on. We're race number 69. We have it printed onto our liveries. When our race number's been taken, I've had to change that. And we can go into the kart shops. We can buy the numbers that go on. When I came to you, I was explaining what we're doing, because you had my design on file, you actually printed everything around that number, and it went over our sticker, and it looked like it was printed like that.
Yes, interchangeability.
And that's when you come about that sponsorship. So when you design a graphics kit, you have to think, you gain sponsors, you lose sponsors. And by having someone like yourself do it, you have the ability to reprint certain areas of a kart kit. And you haven't got to get a brand new system. So you've got to be careful how you place them.
And it's important. One of the other things as well is the colour. That particular kit, the Redgraphix kit, the sponsors are, if you look at them, they're on the side pods and the NASU panel, going up in small white background with black font. It means it's easy for us or for the team. If another sponsor comes along, you don't have to redesign the whole kit to fit them in. It's one small sticker, which is a lot more cost effective than doing a whole new sticker kit and finding the space for that sponsor. And it's important when you're looking at your design if it's too busy a design and there's too much going on, you can't find an ideal location for that new sponsor coming on. So that's why some of the plainer designs, the more casual, calmer, often look a bit sleeker and cleaner, but they have the opportunity for those spaces to be filled later on down the line. Yeah,
that's good advice. It saves money. So pricing wise, how much is it like a standard, let's say, your standard entry kit, what the prices start from?
The prices start from £109, I believe. I'll have to double check with
about 109, roughly,
but it really starts around there and goes up to what you want. Chrome and fluoro colours are more, because they just, unfortunately, they cut the material cost more. It does look better, my personal opinion, but it's important about not overdoing it. A lot of the best kits we've done have got one fluoro colour and a couple of other quite balanced colours to go with it. It really allows that fluoro to stand out and make it the impact point of that design.
And this is where like yourself come in, you can guide them through it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you 3 top tips about designing graphics. So your first top tip to a customer when they're considering coming to you, what would it be?
Have an idea in your head of where you want to go. That's the most important thing. If you just want a sticker kit to go on a kart, that's something we can cater for. But to get the most out of the process, you need to come with an idea of what you want. Like I said, it's completely up to the customer where they go on that journey from start to finish and what they end up with. But having that idea is the most important thing, and it gives us a direction behind the scenes to create that for them.
Good tip. Second pro tip for that? Really put you on the spot here.
You have. Second pro tip, I think the importance of finding, back on the point you made earlier about finding someone you can trust, is finding a company you can trust. And in this little niche of motorsport we're in, my personal thing is word of mouth. If you've got a friend that's got a kit and they've recommended them for whatever it may be, it might be customer service, it might be the price, it might be the way they've done the design, it might be the fact they got it to you within a certain time frame. That word of mouth can't be replicated elsewhere. It's a danger, like you said, with Facebook Marketplace. You don't know who it is. If it's not a reputable company and you haven't seen those kits in front of you, or one of your friends has got them, someone you're racing against got them, it's a dangerous game.
It is, and I second that. As I said when we first started this, we fell foul of a Facebook Marketplace printer. It took months for the kit to arrive after lots of chasing. They took the money instantly. Yeah, we fell foul. So yeah, there's lots of Facebook pages out there. Karting Armchair experts, they're all there. Ask recommendations and people will tell you where to go.
Absolutely.
And your name is mentioned quite regularly on those. Okay, so I'm not going to ask you for a third tip.
I did have a quick one.
Have you got a third one?
A quick one. Back on the proofs and the detail is just making sure you go through the final proofs with detail, just to make sure everything is as you want it. Again, it's going on your car, it's your identity, it's your design. It has to be yours. You need to own it and make it yours, and that detail is key to that.
There you go, 3 pro tips. Right, I'm going to put one in there. I'm going to put our pro tip about graphics. We learned quite early, especially if you're doing championship racing, as you said, pods get damaged, bumpers get dropped, they get holes in them. If you're at that level championship racing, which I know a lot of you are, but if you are thinking about it, buy 2 kits. Keep one in your trailer, in your van, or spare pods, because they will get damaged. They need to be replaced, or we got driven over at the first round of UKC. We had holes in our front bumper. It got taken off us, and we, rather than just have a plain bumper, I had the spare sticker kit, and I re-stickered it in. So from us, that's our tip. If you can afford it, carry 2 kits.
I mean, it's something you could put forward to your sponsors as an avenue to get some backing for, is the backing of the sticker kit. If you turn around to a business and say, we're that prepared that we want to turn up with a second sticker kit, to begin with they might think, why are they getting 2 for the price of 1? We're not having that. But then you turn around and go, no, because we understand the dangers of motorsport, we understand accident happens, we want to be that prepared to make sure you are represented, and we show you guys as a brand that I think a lot of them will quite appreciate that level of preparation.
That's good advice, and we follow that. We have sponsors, and I do say to them, if I damage we're going live now for time, and there's cameras, you could be seen there. I will always have my sponsors on our carts, and that means carrying a second kit. It shows that your dedication to your sponsors. That's a good aim to go down when you're talking to prospective sponsors.
One last point on the second kit, you never know when that race will blow up. It could be on YouTube and not many people watch it. I mean, a few races spring to mind. There was a 24-hour race years ago, and it's on Facebook. Alpha Live was streaming it, and it was kind of teetering. There's a couple hundred people watching it, and within the last 15 minutes it ended up with about 18 to 20,000 people watching it, because a 24-hour race went down to the last 15 minutes. And if it's the race like that that blows up, and you're having the race of your year and you haven't got that spare kit, you'll kick yourself.
Yeah, you will. You will.
Not having it there.
Well, Sam, thank you so much for your time. I know it's been really busy today.
Thanks for having me on.
There you go. There's some top tips on Redgraphix. You've got a tip from us as well. So if you're watching this on live, thank you very much for sitting and watching us. If you're watching it on YouTube in the future, again, you know where to go. I'll put Redgraphix, I'll put your website down here when we edit the full thing. I hope you've enjoyed our streams. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Much appreciated. I'm Andy, we're Zenico Racing. Kill that stream.